Hey everyone, welcome back to, well, a game that we have spent a lot of time in, but unfortunately this is basically the end of our time here. This is more than likely going to be the final video that I make on Heroes of the Storm. I haven't talked about this since it happened, not really, but some time ago, this game was announced to go into maintenance mode. When an announcement like that happens, it usually means the game has basically been declared as being done with. Blizzard is basically done with this game. It's not getting shut down, it's going to get maintained for those of us who still come back to it and play it, but nothing new is going to be added. There may be some times where a bug gets fixed or a little change happens, but nothing like it used to be. It's so sad because I remember when this game was so hyped and people were so excited about it, and it was, they were talking about it. Lots of videos were getting made, lots of content was getting made for it by content creators. And I mean, it was a whole. This game was huge at a point. It really was. And we were all so excited about it. We were always like, it was very much a big. There were some people I got to meet and know through this game, honestly. Mainly other content creators, people that I met on their streams, and people I actually met at BlizzCon because we were all covering this game and excited about it. I was in the crowd at BlizzCon when a couple of awesome announcements for it were made, like when they showed that cool cinematic of Varian and Ragnaros meeting in Molten Core, or Hanzo and Alexstrasza dueling, which were announcements that those characters were getting added into the game. And this game was constantly getting new content on a regular basis. Like every month we were getting new content for this added, new characters, changes, events, skins, maps, game modes. There was a ton of activity with this game, and you could tell that some of the people working on it were excited about working on it. They were really into it. I know because I met some of them at BlizzCon. Some of the people at Blizzard that were working on this. I remember at 2016, I was like just hanging out talking with this one developer who was helping like manage the line for people who were wanting to play it on the floor, and he and I were just talking about the game, just chatting about it. And I could tell that these guys were really invested in it, and when they had the panels, some of the stuff that they were telling us and announcing, it was great. We were loving it. And then the announcement happened that they were canceling the pro scene, HGC, which was a shame because I remember watching those guys at BlizzCon, some of those teams. Remember when Cloud9 had their run to win the championship? That was a fun year when that happened. They actually broke out Murky for that, Dunk Train and Cloud9. That was fun. People were so into it, and the crowd was loving it, But when they announced that, they also said that they were pulling people off the team of this game to work on other stuff. And that was the moment that many of us knew this game was basically on the way out. That basically Blizzard had given up hope and lost their faith in this game. There were other things that happened afterwards. I could tell things were just not the same with this game. Like, to me, the last great moment that this game had was when Deathwing was announced that he was going to enter this game. That's why I kind of made such a big deal about it in my video with the cinematic and such, because it was a big deal that he was finally getting added after us asking for him for years. But you could even tell things were not quite the same with the announcement. It didn't have the same pomp and circumstance that we were used to. They didn't have one of the most well-known Deathwing fans there, MF Palatine, there to be a part of that, even though he was told by people who had worked there that when they announced it, that he would be there for it. And he wasn't. They didn't even contact him about it. And that was a sign to me that, we are seeing the end of Heroes of the Storm. And it's sad because there was a time where I was playing this game every day. I loved this game. I was so into it. I distinctly remember a season where I climbed out of silver all the way to diamond. Like, I just really grinded it and really worked at it. It was mainly by playing Kael'thas, but still being able to make that climb, out of silver and eventually make my way to diamond. I was so proud of that. I was so proud that I was able to actually be a diamond player in this game. If you think I'm lying, I can show it right here. Let's see, where do I'm trying to remember where I actually show that. Hold on. I got portraits. Let's see. Is it progression? No, that's for heroes. Trying to see the one where we can show off the ones we earned. Let's see, owned portraits. That's for heroes. Achievements. Here we go. Where is it? Here we go. Alright, so that was gold, platinum. There we go. That was diamond in Team League in 2017. Diamond in Hero League during Season 1 of 2017. I was so proud of that. I really was. That's the highest I ever got, but I was still very proud of that. And so when they announced that this game went to maintenance mode, it kind of broke a piece of my heart to know that this game that many of us loved and really followed had basically been killed by Blizzard, and it's gonna stay like this basically forever from now on, as long as they maintain it actually running. I don't know if there's ever gonna be a day where they actually shut down this game and make it where it's not playable anymore. Maybe it will happen someday. I don't know, but gosh, I have a lot of fond memories from this game. I have so many fond, good, positive, fun memories. I also have some bad memories, some not so good ones. There was also times where this game absolutely frustrated and infuriated me. Not just the game itself, but also the people. This game unfortunately got more and more toxic the longer it was out. When it was in its early years and there was not that many of us playing it, it wasn't that bad because it was many of us that were just kind of experiencing this new game, and we were so excited about it and having fun with it. But once it came out, more and more people started to play it, the more toxic it became, unfortunately. It was really, really unfortunate. It's really sad for someone like myself who played this game a lot to see it now reduced to this. So yeah. I wanted to have, to do this because I've showcased basically everyone on this roster. Heck, I even entertained the idea of doing something similar to what Palytime did, which was one last hurrah of this game by doing one last A through Z playthrough where I try it again. Not just like him, but, more so my own style, where we go through every character. But I'll be honest, there's plenty of characters on this roster I do not really like to play, and, let's just say I'm not really, I wouldn't really be having that much fun playing characters I don't like to play or normally play. So, yeah. There are some characters I don't mind playing at all on occasion, if I ever, on occasion, come back to this game, but I'd rather not bother. I figure let's just finish off by finally doing a video on the one character on this roster I've not done a video of, and that's Hogger, the last hero to get added to this roster. And then we shall officially close the book on Heroes of the Storm on this channel. Since I don't, I'm not someone who likes to say, never say never again. Like, I will never, make a video on this ever again, but it's hard to think of a scenario or a reason why that would not be the case. So, anyway, before we do actually start talking about Hogger here, I just want to say, for those of you who have been following my channel for a long time and do remember some of my older, early Heroes of the Storm content and watched it, thank you so much for the support. It does mean a lot to me. If you've been on this journey with me, I'd like to know if you're also kind of feel similar type of feelings about this chapter kind of coming to a close. when it comes to this game. But yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, let's finally talk about Hogger, shall we? Our favorite, our favorite villain from Elwyn Forest, right? The Scourge of Elwyn. Once largely a threat to fledgling adventurers' egos in Elwyn Forest, the river paw knoll Hogger has finally found a realm vast enough to sate his hunger, which is expanding to fill the space. And of course, we had to encounter him one more time in the stockades of Stormwind, where he had to reference Kael'thas with, "Forest was just set back." So he's a bruiser, and I'll talk a bit more about some of the other stuff involved here with this kit that's not on display here. His Q is Staggering Blow. Swing your chain in a wide arc, dealing 140 damage to enemies hit and knocking them away. If an enemy hits terrain, deals an additional amount of damage and stuns them for 0.75 seconds and gains Rage. That's something I'll talk about in a moment when it comes to the build we're going to be doing in this game. Easy Throw Dynamite, his W. Toss a bundle of dynamite with a 1.5 second fuse. Upon detonation, enemies will take 180 damage and are slowed by 30% for 2 seconds. The dynamite instantly detonates when landing on an enemy hero, granting Hogger 10 Rage. Hog Wild, his Tasmanian Devil ability. After 0.25 seconds, become unstoppable and controllably spin towards the target direction, ricocheting off terrain. Ricocheting off terrain refreshes the duration. Every 0.125 seconds, you deal 44 damage to nearby non-structure enemies. Damage against heroes increased by 0.5% for each point of rage. His 2 different heroics. Hortapult. Launch an empowered loot horde with Hogger attached, dealing 100 damage and slowing enemies by 50% for 2 seconds. The Hortapult's loot horde lasts up to 20 seconds, decaying rapidly while not nearby. Every 10 seconds, Hogger can take a chunk of meat from the loot horde. Shockwave. After 0.5 seconds, slam the ground, sending out a shockwave that travels in a long line. Enemies hit by the initial slam take 335 damage and are stunned for 1.5 seconds. Enemies only hit by the shockwave take 230 damage and are stunned for 0.75 seconds. And his trait is Loot Horde. Toss a pile of junk onto the battlefield, dealing 102 damage in an area, knocking enemies away, and acting as terrain for up to 5 seconds. When the Loot Horde expires or is destroyed, a chunk of meat falls out that can be picked up to restore 3% of maximum health every second for 4 seconds. Reactivate to destroy the Loot Horde. Yep. So he doesn't have that many skins. This is baseline skin. That's another one. Got Elwyn and Westfall. We've got Duskwood and Stormwind Hogger. And then we've got Pirate Hogger, basically. Shipwrecker. Admiral Shipwrecker. Yeah. Not the main skins, but he was the last hero, so not surprising. And then there are the abilities I talked about. And then when it comes to his talents, he's got some talents here, like a quest one here about the dynamite. One here for the trait, which is that it can create a chunk of meat when it lands, and while under the effects of the meat, you gain armor. Then you see this rage thing here. I'll talk more about that when we actually get into the game, and I can show it to you what it means. But this is going to be the focus of the build that we're going to be doing in this game here. It's going to be a very self-sustained type of build that I found for Hogger that I kind of like, but then again, I don't play him that much, so this will contribute to these two, but then again, it's not like, it's really a big deal anymore. So, as usual, we're going to go ahead and just jump into a game versus AI, so I can just focus on talking about, what we're doing here, so I can kind of showcase it off. So I've got my ones pre-selected here. Yep, I do. All right, let's go ahead and hop in. He has that skin there, because I haven't really bothered with the other ones. I could use some of my gems on one of these skins, but honestly, I don't really care that much. Not really. We'll just go ahead and, I guess, pick this one. Don't even remember. Oh, it's that one. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. So he does have an announcer, which I did grab, which I find kind of funny. So let me go ahead and turn the game sound back on. All right.
I'll hunt them down!
Garden of Terror. So, Rage is gained by taking damage or dealing basic attack damage. Hogger's basic ability cooldowns will refresh 1% faster for every 2 points of Rage. After 3 seconds of not gaining Rage, it will begin to quickly decay. So, yeah, you can be able to basically build this up. So, at level 1, we're going to be taking On the Prowl. It's activatable for 40 seconds, gain 30 Rage over 8 seconds. You heal for 8 health every second, increased by 2% per point of Rage. So we're going to be giving ourselves some more extra sustain when it comes to having lots of Rage. You're going to see kind of a trend here when it comes to this build. Is this the top build? I don't know, and honestly, I don't really care. This is the kind of the build that I first kind of gravitated towards, and let's be honest, does it really matter anymore? I'm sorry if I'm sounding down, but this is basically the whole mentality and just kind of like the whole general feeling that I've kind of like, you know... Because it's kind of hard not to feel that way, you know what I mean? So let me show you the Ricochet here. He's basically the Tasmanian Devil, and I kind of love it. And it can just keep going. It's great. I love that. Oh, I'm low on health. What do I do? We'll drop that down. And I can get some meat. And heal myself. I can get out of there because I'm unstoppable. And we'll go ahead and take a moment to get the sippy cup. So right now, you could see the way the Rage was, it built up, and because of that, I was able to sustain my healing. Like while I'm at high Rage, I'll be able to just kind of get myself a bit more extra passive healing, even though I do have the health globe. But you'll see it once we start going after camps, the way that this build kind of clicks when it comes to the idea of him being a self-sustained character who can also be able to do a lot of the extra macro play on the map. Which, as you guys probably know, is something that I've always enjoyed very much when it comes to this game. I like characters that have self-sustain and being able to actually, you know, do some of the macro play of like getting camps and other PvE stuff. I was never that much into the PvE when it came to this game and all the micro play. It was always something that kind of bothered me and irritated me. This was always an aspect of the game I very much enjoyed and preferred instead. So now at level 4 we're going to take Hogger's Joggers. While above 30 Rage, you will gain 10% increased movement speed and healing received. While when at or above 50 Rage, you will increase these bonuses to 15%. So now, by just simply having more Rage, we are going to be moving faster, and we're going to be healing even more.
Their seed is sprouted. I so hate for it to not be the first to harvest in life.
You can see the extra healing buff there. And remember, I can also be able to drop my loot hoard to be able to get myself some meat, to give myself some extra healing. Oh, hey, Anduin. I like that the AI Stitches was right there ready to try and help save the Anduin. You can see I'm still constantly maintaining this high Rage. I popped my ability, I didn't really need to, just kind of instinctively, just because I was thinking, well, maybe that'll give me some healing. But it's surprisingly easy. Just go ahead and just keep maintaining this, this Rage. You just keep on attacking, you just keep building it up, and you just be able to keep up the extra movement speed and the extra healing. Yeah. Again, I have no idea if this is a popular build or not, but it was the build that I immediately gravitated towards, thinking, huh, okay.
My. Yet another seed. I trust you know what to do.
And I'm just attacking here, keeping my Rage up, and it's just healing me for 36 a second. So now at 7, we're going to be getting Seeing Red. While above 50 Rage, you will gain 35% attack speed, and the cooldowns of Staggering Blow and Hog Wild will refresh 30% faster. Yeah. So now we will be attacking even faster. which will play right into the idea of us being able to maintain our rage. And of course now the cooldown is even faster. So now we're not only moving faster, but we're also attacking faster. I also love the idea that you can do this to block somebody in there and body block them. Just farming XP in the bottom lane, easy life, you know. Don't necessarily have to worry about my, my AI team, because some of the AI enemy is not really doing that well anyway. Just look at that. Look, I mean, the Stitches is here, so do need to worry about the tower focusing on me instead. If I start, I'm having some self-sustain, even though it's also against the Stitches, but I can also whee and get out of there. Now, there is another way to deal with that pretty soon, when we get to level 10, if things get actually pretty bad. I can drop the Horde to get the meat, and just keep on going, keep on attacking, keep my rage up, and get my healing back. Very self-sustained, so you can kind of see the general idea of what I'm talking about here when it comes to this build.
Go for throat first. Yeah. Big talent.
So now, at level 10, we will pick Hortipult. So this is also a nice way to kind of like, get yourself out of a bad situation. Like, oh no! Whee! I can be able to get that to get myself some health back, and of course this will also be dropping some meat. Right there.
Where, Hogger?
And I can just keep on going. Easy game, easy life. Now, is this super successful against other players? Not really sure, but again, not really sure I really care, because this is the build that I'm like, yeah, this is my playstyle, honestly. It really does fit my playstyle, so... Oh, I was actually going to try and see if I could get to the Ragnaros there. And again, also you can use your Loot Horde there to, use your Q to knock them into it to stun them if you need an extra stun. Pretty great. Use that to body block the Stitches. Oh, he somehow got through there. Stitches been losing weight. Get myself some healing.
Children,
Let me get myself out of there.
I hope their sacrifice was worth it.
Alright, level 13, we will now get Bloodthirst. Damaging heroes with basic attacks. Staggering Blow or Hog Wild will heal you for 33% of the damage dealt. I may be low on health, but I'm not worried about that. Remember, I'm still healing myself for every basic attack. And because I'm also maintaining my high rage.
Victory is ours. More pack mates?
I do love when I play with AI that they actually respond to my calls like that.
germinating. Are you ready for it?
And it just allows me to be able to, like, be the guy who's going around the map. As long as they're able to actually, of course, handle themselves in team fights. I don't know how well this does in team fights, but if you're able to just kind of stand here and just kind of, like, keep going, it's not that much healing, but it's enough to be able to just kind of, like, handle taking basically any camp in the game by yourself.
Good game! Good pack! Good hunt!
Isn't nature splendid? Gather that seed for me.
Oh, that's so low.
More crash forward!
Get both these camps going so we can try and finish off this building here.
You had best be ready to gather another seed, heroes.
And now at level 16, we will be getting Berserker. Empowers basic attacks. Hitting heroes with Stargrim Blow or Easy Throw Dynamite will increase the damage of the next basic attack within 8 seconds by 50% stack amplitude times. When Hog Wild ends, gain 30% movement speed for 2 seconds.
Must be done. Good work.
Lots of extra movement speed, lots of extra attack speed, and self-sustain. You can see why I liked the idea of this build. Again, if I ever need health, I can drop a Loot Horde. I can also use Hortapult. Go here, and I can also use Hortapult to get to this fight a little faster.
Hogger, go! More pack mates? That's how you make it.
My little seed is on the verge of spread. Prepare to gather it.
Kill streak. Yeah.
Whee!
More blood! More kills!
Shouldn't you?
It's rather amusing that the final character that gets added to this game is Hogger. Also, AI Stukov. Seriously?
faithful servants. My terror shall crush your enemies.
Big talent. Big
And so now level 20 we get Anger Management. Increases maximum rage by 50, raising the maximum bonuses for its cooldown refresh rate to 75%, and Hog's Wild Hero damage 75%, and a passive basic attack grants 5 additional rage. So yeah. Do you now see like the full kind of like idea and potential of a build like this? This is why I immediately gravitate towards this. Because now he can sustain it even longer because of these bonuses. So yeah, that's Hogger. Now, I was doing a lot of camps, and yet I still did 66,000 hero damage. Now, yes, again, this is against AI. I'm just kind of trying to give you an idea as to why I like the idea behind this build. I don't know how strong it is compared to other builds in this game, but then again, does it really matter anymore at this point? Like, I honestly have no idea if anyone's even bothering to, like, do some other stuff in this game, like ranked anymore. You can see I haven't even touched this because I honestly don't care anymore. And I'm really curious, like, what the actual, like, activity of this is nowadays. It's so amusing to be able to, like, look at this stuff and just think, man, to think about what was and what it is now. It's so sad. I'm gonna miss Heroes of the Storm. I really am. Because I had some great times in this game. With some great fun people that I still know today because of this game. Farewell, Heroes of the Storm. We had some good times.